Bad news for our gracious Majesty the Queen concerning Prince Harry. But as ever, what is the latest? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company today. And as ever, yes, forgive the beeping traffic. This is the very heart of London. This is a very busy road, so I do hope that you can hear me. But we want to bring you this breaking story because it's simply escalating, as it often is with, of course, breaking royal stories. It all really centres on the fact that when Prince Harry decided to disappear over to California, first via Canada, of course, there were stories that there were originally both he and Meghan were going to be settling in South Africa. Do you remember that? That all sort of fell apart, and then suddenly they popped up in Tyler Perry's house over in California. And a lot of people wondered exactly what was the next plan, because clearly they didn't seemingly want to give up the titles of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So much so, of course, that Meghan used her title on her very first book, The Bench, titled Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Even that failed to basically kick off sales. But now, following a bout of ill health from our gracious Majesty the Queen, over here in the United Kingdom, the calls are growing deeper and deeper for a change of plan. And let me explain the reasons why. As you can imagine, now at 96 years old, our gracious Majesty the Queen will be taking less profile in public. We've already been told that. I've told you here on this channel how they plan to do more online, Zooms, that sort of thing, directly from Windsor. Nothing wrong in that, in my opinion. But of course the bigger problem is the line of succession and the people that are involved in that. Now, as we know, Prince Andrew is still on the line, and of course there's Prince Charles. But also, along with Prince William, is Prince Harry. And there's bigger calls over here in the United Kingdom more than ever for him to be removed. Now, as we've often told you here on the show before, that really does have to come from Her Majesty the Queen herself and then directly to the British government over here in Parliament. Now, what's interesting is, as we've often said also on the show, she seems rather reluctant to do this. But there's now even more pressure on the 96-year-old monarch, simply because as it's going to be very obvious that she's not going to be as visible in public, and perhaps, of course, not as visibly seen on many occasions, perhaps the Platinum Jubilee, and then who knows after that. What a lot of people are saying is that it's very damaging to the monarchy to have somebody so many miles away that seemingly wouldn't be interested in returning full-time as a member of the working royal family. So the bigger plan, and this is what's been discussed in very close sources, is why on earth in this 21st century modern world cannot the Princess Royal, Her Royal Highness Princess Anne, now be included on the line of succession? It makes sense really when you think about it. And when we're talking about the succession line, we're talking about deputising for the monarch, Her Gracious Majesty the Queen, should she be indisposed. And when you think about it, of course, Princess Anne is the hardest working royal within the monarchy, doing more engagements than any other royal every single year. And now the push is even harder for Princess Anne to take a more active and centre stage role. This is an ongoing story that I'll keep you updated about, but seriously, it's gaining momentum, and more importantly, I think our gracious Majesty the Queen will have to do something about it sooner rather than later. Sean in the very heart of London.